noticeable person missing from this shot is Mr. Todd, and it's because he's got to hold the camera today in order to be able to show you what we're doing. So, if you can see this crazy bug. So, I just made this bug from things that I found out in my yard, and you can see that his glue is still drying. So, he's got a humongous leaf. He's on a pizza crust, a circle. He's got a humongous leaf for his body, and these little spiky balls for his eyes. He's got antennas and legs, and he's got little wings. And I cut up one of these and cut the little pieces off and glued those onto his wings just for some color on him, and used flowers and just different things. So I'm going to show you how to make a bug from things that you can just find out in your yard. So I just went out in my backyard and my side yard, and I found these things. So some leaves. I found these really neat, like little flower things. They've got some really alien looking stuff inside them that would look pretty cool on a bug. Just some sticks and some different colors of leaves. Some weeds, actually. These were little berries that were on a holly bush, just for some color. Is that called a Japanese maple, Mr. Todd? Mm-hmm. Japanese maple. And just some little flowers, some monkey grass, just whatever you can find around. Those are those dandelion stems that maybe could be used for antenna for your bug or whatever. So you just go around, you find whatever you want to use, and if you just have some scissors, you can make yourself a bug. So I would recommend that you position it wherever you want, and do not glue down the edges of your leaves right away, because you're going to want to use tuck things up underneath it. I would kind of lay it out like you think you might want it. It's good, like I can turn these leaves over to make them a different color of green, and I could use those as my, this bug could have some tiny little wings. I found a leaf that was it had already fallen off of the tree, so it was kind of dead looking. But that's okay, because my point was that I wanted it to have a color that was kind of contrasting to my body here. So I could make that all nice and even and pretty if I wanted to. But I can make that on my head. And I found these itty bitty things. They're like little bitty tiny strawberries. And I found those in the yard. And these little things. And I thought it might be kind of cool to put the little strawberries down inside there, and it could look like an eyeball. So you could do something like that. And I'm going to cut that off down there, and I could glue those on for my little eyeballs. So you could do that. You could take like monkey grass and you could trim that up. You could use that for some legs, or you can just get some sticks from your yard, and your bug could have some smaller legs coming out. If you wanted it to, you could use something and make your bug have a stinger if you wanted. It could be a stinging bug. And you could find some things to use for its antenna. And maybe we could use something from here, like these little things. We could use those for our bug's little antenna. And so the main idea is just to gather things that you already have in your environment. If you live in an apartment and maybe you don't have access to lots of trees and bushes or whatever, maybe the next time that you and your parents go for a walk, somewhere you could, or hike. Maybe you guys could go to Rock Island or something like that one day. And while you're there, you could pick up some of these things, and then you could even make it a project where you look them up and try to find out what different kinds of flowers or trees you have. So you'll want to glue those different things down and just get creative with it. It's not meant to be beautiful, but if you would love to make a beautiful one, you could try to make one that looks like a butterfly. If you use Sharpies, you can color on the leaves. Like, it's hard to tell, but I did color on this little guy's head some, just to make his head look a little bit of a different color than the rest of it. But just get out and explore and have fun. And Mr. Todd, do we have time for our other craft?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do another craft with you really quickly so that we've got two, and then we have another one coming up this weekend. But we're going to save it for the weekend. So this is making little paper beads. And you can make them from things that you just have around your house. You can have, you can do it from construction paper. I made mine from things that, like junk mail that I got. So you just want to make a very long, very skinny triangle. So, and I want my triangle to be, so you don't want the end of it down here to be too humongous. And you could use different parts of the magazine, different pages to make different colors if you wanted. Now, this is a skewer stick, but you don't have to use that. You can use, you could cut the end off of a Q-tip, and you could use the Q-tip little straight piece. So I'm putting the fat end down first, and I'm just rolling, and trying to keep my, the part that I'm working towards the middle, okay? And when I'm getting down close to the tip, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right there, and then I'm gonna roll my tip, and I'm just gonna spread that glue that I just had kind of up and down on that, okay? And then that just slides off the end of your skewer, and it becomes a paper bead. And so you can see that these others that I made from this other junk mail. And so when it's all said and done, you can have your parents thread a needle for you, and you can use like string that you would use to make a friendship bracelet or do cross stitching, or you can just use some thread and string that through there and slide it through, and you can put your beads onto a bracelet or a necklace. So this one right here, it is really big, so you might not want to make them quite as big as that. So here it is in comparison to my finger, so that you can see, because that might be harder to string to get your needle through it. But you can just get creative with it and make all different kinds of colors and do something useful with your junk mail or with the newspaper magazine you're about to throw away. So I hope you guys have fun using some things that you can find around your house, and always remember that we love you.
Bye.